Howdy y'all, welcome to the DIY channel, or welcome back to the DIY channel. I'm super stoked with how this Windows XP gaming PC's turned out, but there's still a few more modifications I want to make it the best computer it can be. I want to get rid of the stock cooler and put a decent as orb cooler on it and see how much I can overclock the thing. I got this old orb beast, cheap as chips, slash for free. It's just missing the base plate. But if this lines up, we might be able to get away with just using some nuts and bolts to hold it on. Arrow. So this should sit this way. That right there, that is money. Drop these out. Have a look at the back of our board. I don't want to wear into any of these traces with the screws, right? Let's get old Mountie going. I reckon. And now it will provide a nice cushioned insulation layer. This is where it's going to get fiddly. Do not over tighten it. You just want to nip it up. A little bit fiddly, but that is well secured. And because this is going to be a fan with vibration, I don't want them to come loose. So I use a second nut on the top as a lock nut. And this one we can do up a little bit tighter. That is very secure. Alright, now we can clean them all up. Bit of alcohol. Get the old thermal paste off, no worries. What a beast of a cooler. 3 giant heat pipes completely looped. Nice and clean. Look at the mirror. Look at that, the most powerful dual core of the time. Cost me $10. What a beast. Get some Arctic silver on there. Hopefully there's enough left. I have done so many CPUs with this thing. Plenty enough. Don't wind it all the way, just get a few threads in. Get it all lined up, squared up, and these really bend, so you can help it along with your finger. Get a few threads in, there it goes. And then get the other side down. Beautiful. Ram back in. And we're going slot 1 and slot 3, so that it runs in dual channel. Plug our CPU fan in. Lovely jubbly. Next modification. So I do not like these. It's annoying plugging in 1, 2, 3 power points. But I love the lights. Pretty cool. So what I'm going to do, get the power supply out. This is where it starts to get a little bit dangerous. Let's give ourselves some room. Neutral, live, neutral. Brown is phase or live. Blue and black is neutral or earth. Keep in mind these are 240 volts, so I want to have all the circuitry contained within here. So I want the switch pretty much in the middle, and I want to tap into these wires with the power wires from the strobe light and disco ball, creating a single parallel circuit. If you do a lot of wiring, these wire strippers are great, and they work for crimping and cutting wires as well. But I want a nice switch. You can use the beep test on your multimeter to check that it's working and to figure out which way around to put your wires. It's a working switch. Let's work on getting it mounted up. It should be able to sit about here. $22mm. 2 marks, get a straight line. How wide is our switch? Remember, it's got to squish down. Let's give it the squeeze. 28mm. You really have to take your time and be really gentle with the grinder. Just let it do the work. Don't force it. If you want an accurate cut, go in from both sides. I'm going to twist the 2 live wires together and solder them onto the wire that connects to the switch, and then connect the switch to the live wire of the power supply. And the other 2 wires, the neutrals or the negatives, they'll be twisted together and soldered directly to the neutral of the power supply. Heat shrink, solder, flux, nice wet sponge. Alright, good and tinned, and then just join them up. And grab a lighter. Alright, if we can sneak this wire out, we'll sneak our wire in. So this wire is off a 2000 watt steam mop, so it's plenty thick enough to handle being the power for here as well. That's why it's braided. Yeah, that's like Kevlar for heat as well. Now, we wrap that. And go about there. Twist. Oh, we just need to pop that back through and resolder it. This would have been a whole lot easier if I had just taken the circuit board out, but I'd be a lot more likely to get electrocuted. Beauty! So all that's left now is to put it all back together. All up and running. We can see our clock speed, standard 3.3 gigahertz, our voltage sitting around 1 volt, pushing up around 1.1. We can also see our temperatures hitting a minimum of 32 and a maximum of 38 degrees Celsius. This is a very happy computer with this new cooler. So let's go ahead and overclock the heck out of it. Jump in your BIOS. To overclock it, we go into our MB motherboard, Intelligent Tweaker. use the CPU host clock control. So we want to enable that, and now we can change our host frequency. Let's just start with a small overclock, something that will work with using this automatic voltages, 3800. So we can see our frequency now is 3.8 gigahertz, and see we have a warning. If enabled, set the system voltage control to auto to optimize system voltage, and see how we also have a performance enhanced warning. Overclocking standard could improve stability, so that means we want to set to standard, and down here our system voltage control we need to set to auto. Okay, so we're all good. We want to save, F10, yes. And if it boots, we're good. But jump back in the BIOS and check the temperature in there, just in case something funny's going on. Delete BIOS key. Okay, so PC health. Yeah, look at our temperature now. So when you're in the BIOS, it's actually under load. So we're hitting 45 degrees now, but still very cold. It's about the same as what the standard cooler was, without it being overclocked. If this boots to Windows, we'll be pretty safe. Oh, look at that, we're in. So I'm going to use CPU Z to load the CPU. I'm going to use HW info to monitor the temp. So we can already see here we're getting our 3.8 gigahertz, 3800 megahertz, and our voltages have come up. So it's automatically increasing our voltage. If we go into bench, we can actually stress the CPU 100%, and we'll see if our temps go up a lot. Still very reasonable. Max temp 49C. I reckon with a bit of tuning we can definitely get the CPU running even higher than that. So you know, if you won the Silicon Lottery, you could probably just go 4 gigahertz and it might be stable with all the automatic stuff, but I'm thinking that's probably going to blue screen. Let's just try it to prove a point. Even though it's an old system, it should have built-in safeties. Well, it's posted. We'll see if it can get to Windows though. I'll be very surprised if it does. Ah, blue screen. That was a quick one. Right, let's get back in the BIOS. So let's tweak our voltage settings to see if we can get this overclock stable. What we're going to want to do is go into system voltage control, set it to manual. And we want to change our CPU core voltage. So we were hitting 1.15 under load, so let's just give it an extra 100 millivolt, will be 1.25. Start window. Oh, we've made it further than we did. We're in, just like that. 4 gigahertz, look at that. And our voltage 1.21. Happy days. Got to be happy with that. Let's load it up and see if it's stable. Stress the CPU. Instantly hit 50 degrees, 52 degrees. Not bad for a CPU from 2006. No blue screen error. That is awesome. 54 degrees, that is still well cold. What a beast of a CPU. Considering the CPU only costs 10 euros, what a bargain. So now we can play some games to really benchmark and stress test it. Not gonna lie, these old games are scary as anything. They just don't make them like this anymore. Would you guys be interested in seeing these actually streamed, doing some playthroughs? I'm thinking about setting up a Twitch channel and streaming live on YouTube. so that you guys can get the full experience of these games and see some real in-time reactions. It sounds like a heck of a lot of fun to me. Let me know in the comments if that sounds cool. Or maybe we could do a live stream where we see just how hard we can overclock this old beast. Anyway, I'd be up for it. Sounds like fun to me. Anyway, thanks for watching, y'all. Catch you on the next one.